Hello, and welcome to episode 64 of Things I've Learned from Barry Harris. Today I thought we would continue on the idea of creating lines from scales. So today we'll actually we've been doing 5, we did lines to do over the 5 chord, or in this particular key D7, to the 1 chord, G major, and we were doing that. Now we should really start thinking about how to connect those two things, because this also is a source of a problem even for me also. So I usually have lines that I have for a dominant and then lines that I have for a major, but it's the connecting those two parts that seem to be a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting there. So, but before I start, I just want to point out there is a fantastic YouTube channel called Labyrinth of Limitations by this fantastic guitar player named Thomas Echols, or Echols. And if you aren't subscribed to him or haven't checked him out, you really should. It's the most wonderful channel for looking at Barry's scales of chords in chording, and he's just really doing wonderful things. And people who like this channel, I'm sure, will really enjoy it. So that's just Labyrinth of Limitations, Thomas Echols. So, but back to the D7 to G major. Maybe what we could do is, let's take 2 beats of A minor, 2 beats of D7 going to G major. So now what we need to do is start creating things that would last 4 beats. So maybe we'll do, like if we're doing a turnaround, and then this gets 1, 2, 3, 4, going 1. So that would be 3 chord B minor to the 6 chord E7, A minor D7 to G major. We'll do it kind of in that tempo, but we'll start to come up with phrases using from the A minor to D7. And we only have 4 beats. Maybe we'll start on the second beat of this. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and we'll play a phrase. So I was thinking a nice one to start off with might be just thinking D7, a chord up from the 5th, which is nice. Now I might just come down the scale, and then we're going to end on the tonic of the D7, but on that point we're going to be on G major again, so it would be this. So that's the last note of the phrase, also happens to be the tonic, the 5th of the G major. So now, that's a nice phrase, really pretty phrase, but we want to do something to that phrase. Ba-ba-dee-da-dee-da-da. We probably don't want to just run D7 into G major. Maybe we'll want to make a bigger deal out of G major. So let's think about things you could do from the 5 of G major. You could come down the scale. So let's try that. Pretty phrase. We could do some of the 5, 4, 3, 2 things. So maybe we'll say, that was 4. But maybe we'll do 5. That's a nice one. Maybe we'll do, maybe let's do 3. That's nice. Maybe we'll come down G6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty. Maybe let's go up. Maybe let's go up Barry's chromatic scale. From the 5th, we'll go back up to the major 7. So we'll say, it's a pretty phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Maybe we'll come down a chord from that major 7 too. Pretty. Let's maybe put a half step. Let's play that 5, put a half step below it, and go back up to it. So let's say, it's nice. Let's add to it though. Or maybe that's nice. So let's say, I came down to G6 from the 6. So I did Barry's chromatic up to the 6. So let's try that. Pretty. Now let's do a different phrase to start off. Maybe we'll do a chord up from the 3. Now we'll end on the third. So now we have to think of all the things we know for G major when we're starting on the third. So let's think of that one. So let's say do same idea too with the same amount of timing. That was nice. I just went up the scale. And then back down to the tonic. So pretty. Or maybe I'll do Barry's chromatic up a minor third, so 3 to 5. So it'll be D. Nice. Or maybe when I get to the fifth, I'll come down a G6. Nice. So, oh, try that one again. Oh. It's pretty. Finally got that one right. But let's say, let's do something else with the 3. Let's just come down chromatically to 1. So let's say, that's a pretty phrase. Nice. Maybe we'll do that little thing. So that's hitting the note, going down a half step, going back up to it. Maybe we'll come up a chord like that. That's nice. I came up a chord. That's nice. Wait, that's a nice one. That's a nice one too. Let's say, nice. Pretty things. Sometimes though, you're not always going to land on like the 5 or the 3. Sometimes you might end up on, so like we said. So now you're ending on that one, you're ending on the second. So let's see how to come out of that. There's our surrounding. Remember when we did the surrounding of the major from a scale tone above to the actual note to the half step below. So the second of the G is also a whole step above the G natural. So we'll go bar, which is pretty. Oh wait. Pretty stuff. Pretty. Let's see, how would we end on? And sometimes you come down the diminished, like, let's see, you people go up the diminished. That's a nice one too. All these are so pretty. But these are just, again, a few small examples to show you how you should start to be thinking. So we had the episode where you were thinking about phrases for D7, which are great. You had episode where you're thinking of phrases for G major that you're coming up with. That's great. Practice your G major. But then you have to get to the point where now you're playing what Barry refers to as a movement. So this is a 5 to a 1 or 2-5 to 1. But Barry just thinks 5. So you got to have all these things in the bag because these are coming up. These are going to come up in songs all the time, every single song, and not just obviously for the key of G, but all the keys. You got to be comfortable with all the keys. And right now we're just practicing doing 2 beats of each, but it could be 4 full beats of each. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. See, it could be 4 beats, and then you have to practice just longer D7 phrases, running them into G major. So there's a lot to this, but you have to start somewhere. And this is the best that I can come up with to thinking about how I'm trying to navigate through a lot of these changes. Because that's a question that people have, is like, okay, well, once I get some of these phrases together, where do I put them in? This is how you have to start piecing it together. And it takes a while, but it's really, for me, it's super fun to start to really discover, like, oh, what happens if I land on the 3? What can I do from there? What happens if I land on the 5th? What happens when I land on the 2nd? That's a weird note to land on. What can I do from there? So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. and enjoy practicing your 5-to-1 phrases. Until next time, thanks.